Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think I could confidently say most male partners would be open to that. If it's just a one-off, yeah, I'd like to dig into that and see if...
I bet you would.
No. I don't mean in that respect. I mean, I'd like to... But what's really tough is people can be very manipulative. So parents can be very manipulative to their children.
What, to like what do you mean? Like, so it's viable so it could live, or...
No, not viable so it could live. Gingers with green eyes, and then next it would be brunettes with brown. Like, you are right, it would go through a trend process.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, yeah.
I don't think that's bad.
No, I don't think that's bad. Deciding whether she should have one of her parents' eggs transferred into her.
Hello and welcome to the Confessional podcast. You are watching and listening to yours truly, Rick, and obviously the amazingly beautiful Kimmi. Hey! Oh my goodness, it's been an interesting time. Spoken about lots off the camera, which is going to be on Patreon. So if you want to go and subscribe, please go and do that. Kim, what's on the agenda?
I know you've got some confessions, haven't you? I've got something I want to talk about, but should we do the confessions
Let's
first?
do the confessions. So these people have sent these in through the website, www.theconfessionalpodcast.co.uk. Please go on there, go to the submissions form. You can send it in. It comes through and it's 100% going to be kept anonymous. Anonymous.
I haven't heard these yet. I'm excited.
You haven't?
I normally see them first.
This person has sent in, it says, please don't share my last name. Confession, I have never told a soul. I am happily married with 2 children. I've been with my husband for 13 years. I am not attracted to the male body. I'm a boobs girl. I, however, could not think of anything worse than being in a same-sex relationship. Make it make sense.
Woody Dave. you won't get that reference.
I don't understand that reference at all. No, what does that mean?
That means you didn't watch my TikToks yesterday.
Sorry, I haven't. No, I haven't.
That's so weird. So yesterday I made a TikTok saying, why don't more men have boobs?
Why should men have
Why don't more men have boobs? Men like boobs, right? And you can get them. Just get them.
But I don't want boobs on myself. I just I like women's boobs.
Would you not like to lie in bed with your own tits?
No, I couldn't think of it. No, I think it would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be absolutely disgusting.
Your mates would love you though.
No, they
down
wouldn't.
The pub.
They'd be like, you look a cunt.
No, they wouldn't. They'd be like, come for a bike ride.
I promise they wouldn't. They wouldn't, man. They wouldn't. No way. I would never. I could never think of anything where I would be like, I quite like my own tits. Never. But this confession, they've been in a 13-year relationship. They're happily married, but they're not attracted to the male body. They love boobs, but they don't want a same-sex relationship.
God, that's hard, isn't it?
That's very confusing.
Yeah.
Like,
it sounds like they probably are gay, but they don't want. I don't know. That's a bit odd, isn't it? I mean, I like tits.
Gay?
I like tits.
Or are they just attracted to
boobs? Because I like boobs.
I like boobs too.
I do.
Me too, man. Me too. I love boobs.
I like a woman's body and I like boobs, but I'm probably the same, but I am attracted to men, so that's a bit different.
So as a man, and I'm a very typical heterosexual male, I can look at another man and find them attractive and appreciate why people would find them attractive. Like, true, I could look at a man and be like, fucking hell, he's a handsome man. Like, good for you, sir. I truly can, and I'm very like the producer, yeah. And I can appreciate why anybody would find that person attractive, and I wouldn't hide it because it's emasculating. Not at all. I'd be very happy to walk up to a stranger if he was handsome and be like, "You're a very good looking person. Like,
yeah,
you look great."
Yeah,
I wouldn't
think
be like,
I'm
"Good
the
for
same."
you." I'd be like, "It's amazing, mate. Like, you look great."
I think I'm the same. I don't mind looking at a woman, and I do like boobies, but I would never be in a relationship.
Yeah.
I've obviously tried the girly stuff for my OF.
Yeah.
And it was not for me.
Definitely
not for me.
I wonder if they've ever experienced a female.
Yeah, maybe they need to have a bit of a dabble. 13 years married though.
Maybe speak to the partner and be like, look,
get some tits.
Let's introduce another female into this for a night and see how it goes. Most partners be open to that.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. I think I could confidently say most male partners would be open to that. If it's just a one-off,
Yeah.
if they're even a little bit open-minded, they might ask questions and be like, why the curiosity? What's going on? Are you trying to leave me?
Yeah, yeah.
So that could obviously cause concern, but I'd imagine most would be open to it.
I would just say feed him lots of chocolate and hopefully he gets his own boobies.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how to dissect that and kind of give a reasonable answer.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, if it is just boobs, it's just like, I think it's just like boobs, like me. I just think
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
it doesn't read like she's wants the opposite sex. She just wants boobs, right?
I guess. I don't know, because it's not me, so I can't answer that. It's a very good confession.
It's a good
Very
confession,
good
isn't
confession, because normally I'm very chatty and kind of, but I'm quite stumped with that. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you.
Don't be ashamed of that, though.
Yeah.
I think it's probably quite normal. Don't be stressed about it. If you're happy, then you're happy. But yeah, like, if only do something if
But
you
what's
feel
really
like it needs
interesting is they're
addressing.
not attracted to the male body, yet they've been married for 13 years and
Yeah.
they have 2 kids with that partner.
I mean, he must be a decent guy.
Well, I hope so.
She's obviously just not attracted to his body, but she likes who he is.
That's sad.
I think that happens quite a lot, though, in real life.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it does. I was with my ex for 15 years and I didn't fancy a single ounce of him. Yeah.
Interesting. We'll talk about that another time. We have another confession, so yeah, strap in for this one. This one's quite like, not vulgar, but yeah, there's some pretty prominent words in there. So, I have a companion that is 15 years younger. This obviously stems from when we had that conversation of age ranges and stuff. He said my pussy was so tight that he could not believe I'd given birth to 3 boys. I'm 47, by the way. What I didn't tell him is that I've had a vaginally reconstruction after my youngest son was born, who's now 13. I won't tell him. That's my secret to keep. But boy, he is sticking around for some tight pussy. Oh, okay.
Wait, how old was she?
She's 47.
So
I think
how
she
old
said
is he?
47.
15 years younger.
Yeah, you got that?
What's
32.
32?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
I don't think that's bad.
No, I don't think that's bad.
But what's weird about it is not that. What's weird about the age situation is if somebody was 30 and they were dating an 18-year-old, I would think I would personally be a little bit uncomfortable with that person. But I think when you kind of get into your 30s and 40s up and
you're more mature.
hopefully both mature adults.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I think if your similarities align, and obviously the similarities aligned due to a reconstructive surgery of the vaginal canal. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't really know how that works.
Like, stitch it up.
Is that how it is?
I don't actually know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm just assuming.
That's the first time I've read that. I haven't actually read it.
I'm just assuming they stitch it up.
I haven't researched it. I don't know how that works. But it's obviously working for her.
Like, did she do that as a cosmetic reason, or was it a medical reason? Because women sometimes it all falls out down
I
there.
understand there are circumstances where you can get tears, can't you? Obviously, when you're giving birth naturally.
Yes.
So obviously they will have to reconstruct
you
that
just
area.
give me shivers.
So maybe the doctor went, do you want to do it up a little bit tighter? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
So when I gave birth to my youngest, I teared from my hole, the vaginal hole, all the way up to my pee hole. So just split. And I had to have, I can't remember how many stitches I had to have, but I had to have lots and lots of stitches. And it was horrendous. But they didn't offer to give me an extra one.
Just put a cheeky extra stitch
they didn't do that.
Tighten that little beauty up. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't think that's a bad secret to keep. And
no.
If you're enjoying it and
you pop that pussy.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Yeah. Whoever said that in. That's I'd like to dig into that and see if
I bet you would.
No. I don't mean in that respect. I mean, I'd like to. Okay, so the producer has found the answer, and here it is.
So the surgical procedure called a vaginoplasty can be performed to tighten the vagina after a stitched up vaginal area, usually done to repair the damage from childbirth or other injuries by removing excess tissue and suturing the vaginal walls together to create a tighter canal. However, it's important to consult a healthcare professional first to discuss this if this is the procedure is right for you.
So there's injections you can actually get as well. Did you know about this?
For what?
There's injections you can get to grow your penis.
I've actually seen this.
Did I send it to you?
We shared it, didn't we, on the WhatsApp? And I was like, bosh, I'm going to grow another 2 inches or something like that.
Yeah, it gives you thickness and it gives you length, and it's basically just it's a painless injection. It's just one-off injection, and it lasts for about 6 months. But women can also get it because it enlarges the walls of their vagina, so it feels tighter for a man. That's actually a thing. Do you think? Do you know what? We should just do a podcast day trip and just both go and get it done and discuss the results.
Oh, yeah,
not together.
I was like, how would we test that theory, Kim? That would be weird. I don't know if I would want to do it in case something went wrong with my penis.
It wouldn't. It's just a single injection.
But what if it did and my penis exploded?
That'd be very sad. But
it would be very sad. I would lose the will to live.
I think it's a good idea. Guys, go and join the Patreon so we can save enough money to go and get the procedures done.
And you can make my penis bigger.
We'll document it.
Okay. Cool. Right. That's confessions over. What is it that you wanted to talk about? So
I wanted to talk about IVF. There's been loads and loads of stuff about IVF online at the moment, and it piqued my curiosity. I seen a post saying that IVF is immoral. Immoral. That's the right word, isn't it? Yeah. Because you are basically selecting the egg. You can select the gender. You get rid of the bad eggs and you select the high grade ones, and you fertilize them. And the rest of them, you can either keep them frozen to use at a later date, or you just destroy them. So basically, there's fertilized eggs and they're just being yeeted into the bin.
Right.
So I wanted to discuss whether you thought that was moral or immoral, because people obviously disagree with abortion.
Yeeted. I like that word. That's a great word.
That's a wrestling word.
I like that. Go on.
People discuss about abortion being immoral because you're getting rid of a fertilized embryo, and it's basically the same when you think about it. You. Yeah, it's just not been implanted yet. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts on abortion are probably quite controversial, but I don't know. It's tough, isn't it? So
I'll tell you my thoughts.
Yeah, go on.
I don't think IVF is immoral. I think selecting and picking like your gender, and if you can pick what hair colour or whatever, I think that's immoral. I think.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
Do you think everybody should be like selected? Like, can you imagine if everybody did that? It'd be. It's kind of a bit Nazi, isn't it? Like blonde hair, blue eyes.
I know, but would everybody pick blonde hair and blue eyes?
It'd probably be trendy to like pick a certain type.
There'd definitely be trends, and fucking for like 5 years it would be gingers with green eyes, and then next it would be brunettes with brown. Like, you are right, it would go through a trend process. But I think IVF is very costly, isn't it?
Yeah, I think selecting the best embryo, I think that's just common sense.
Of course, that makes sense.
That's absolutely common sense.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the fertilized embryos, it's just I don't see them as a baby. I just don't. So it's just.
How long is the process inside a woman, and tell me if you don't know, before it becomes a teeny tiny little form of like a little kangaroo baby, which are all small and pink and weird, inside a woman?
What, to like what do you mean? Like, so it's viable, so it could live, or?
No, not viable, so it could live. So you have a fertilized embryo that's then inserted inside you. What's the process then?
It's the same as a normal pregnancy.
Because in the UK, obviously, you're allowed to abort before 16 weeks. Is that right?
Oh, it's higher than that. It's high. I'm pretty sure it's higher than that. I'm sure it's is it like 22 weeks? The limit is 24 weeks. For abortion.
In the UK?
In the UK. There has to be like special circumstances to get to that limit. But yeah, it's 24 weeks is the limit.
That's a lot because you're showing, aren't you?
I gave birth at 34 weeks, so 10 weeks after that.
I think you were pregnant, and basically if you gave birth, it is a risk to your life, like a catastrophic risk, to the point where it's a very high probability that you're going to die. Get the baby out. And if the baby dies, okay, I'm still alive. I can try again. That's my opinion. I think if you get pregnant, it takes two to tango, and you have to deal with that situation. It's not consequences, because it's not a consequence. It's a situation. But I think if it's within a certain time frame, probably 12 weeks for me, then I would be okay with abortion, personally and morally. I think after that, I think it would be very, I don't know. But I also think if you get someone pregnant, it takes two to tango, doesn't it? It does. It takes two to tango.
I'm pro-choice, so I have no issue with abortion whatsoever.
No, I don't.
I think if you're
24 weeks is pretty well.
Oh yeah, that's insane. That's 5
months.
That would be quite brutal for the person, like getting rid of that baby as well. No.
Yeah. That's technically a stillborn, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's really sad.
I'm sure babies have been born. I don't know what the youngest I'm going to have a look, baby to be born is. I think you must have made your mind up before you got to that stage. Like, I know it's a very hard decision, but I think once you start getting to 12 weeks, it depends if they knew about the pregnancy to begin with.
Yeah.
But once you start getting to around the 12-week mark, you've got a fairly good idea of what you want to do going forward.
What's really interesting though is obviously the man has zero fucking say.
Yeah, that's the bit that I don't agree with.
I don't like that at all. That doesn't sit right with me. It takes two to tango. You both did it. I think you should both have a choice. And I think that would be very difficult to differentiate whether somebody's been spiteful or not, the man or the woman. And the woman saying, I don't want a baby, and the man going, well, I do, just to try and spite the woman, or vice versa. That would be obviously a very tricky situation to pick apart. The fact that the man isn't in the process and really has legally no say.
The reason he doesn't, though, is because he doesn't have to carry that baby. And obviously, a woman's body goes through a lot of shit when she's
of course.
pregnant.
I respect and appreciate that 100%. But then where does that fall with him then having to fund that child? Yeah,
that's, I think everyone should have. I think everyone should have a right to choose whether they're having that baby or not. And if it comes, this is really controversial. I think if it comes to the point where there is a baby and the man decides he doesn't want to have part in that baby's life, then if he signs his rights over, I don't think he should be made to 100%. Pay. But he still legally has to pay, right? Even if he signs all of his rights over, he still legally has to pay.
Yeah.
When he didn't make that decision, whereas a woman has the choice to have an abortion and decide whether she wants that or not.
So then where's the man's rights if the woman goes, fuck you, I want an abortion?
Yeah.
And he goes, I really want this baby. I was told I couldn't have kids and we've got pregnant. Yeah. Oh my God, let's have the baby. And they go, no. And it's my choice because it's my body. And I respect that for a female. It's their choice and their body. Nobody should be able to tell them what they can and can't do. Nobody. The maturity level of the choice should be with the person that you are about to procreate with.
Yeah.
I don't think that the choice should be made out of spite. I think it should be made out of a very calm and collective decision where you both have had that conversation in a very mature manner.
I think because the woman could go through the whole pregnancy process, give birth to the baby, and if she still didn't want the child, then
give it up for adoption.
Give it up for adoption or give it to the parent that actually wants the baby. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's a really
I do think it's difficult, and I'm not condoning parents who don't want anything to do with their children. I'm not condoning that. I think if you have a child, it's very important to be a part of that child's life. I can't talk from females' perspective, but I can talk from male friends who...
It is definitely hard for a man because they don't really have a choice.
They have nothing.
No.
What pisses me off is I've got two very close male friends, three actually, and they're going through processes where their partners are just being spiteful and using the child as a weapon to basically hurt the man, and I think that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that's gross.
And they have full love and support to these men. They have so much patience and so much resilience to that, where they're not going off the rails, they're not getting angry, they're not sending their ex-partner messages going, I'll beat you up and stuff. They're not doing that. They're going through the legal process because that's obviously the best way to try and then gain access to their children, who they want to be a part of their lives.
Yeah.
They want to watch grow up, and they want to go to the assemblies at school, and they want to take their kids on holiday.
From a woman's point of view that does that.
Enrages me.
Why,
cretins.
You need that support as well, though. That kid needs a dad.
Correct.
And you need that support.
It's important.
I don't understand why people do that.
But obviously there will be situations where women will actively not allow the father to see the child for genuine reasons. And of course, that should stand If somebody is a threat to that child, you take them out of that situation and they're not allowed to be there. And it could be vice versa. If the mother is a threat to that child and the man is the sole carer, the mum stays out of that situation until that's changed.
Mine was literally the same situation. So my kid's dad wasn't very good at the beginning, but I still tried to make them have a relationship. Yeah. And luckily now he's like stepping up, and
you had to take him out of this situation for a while.
I had to for a little bit.
And that makes sense.
There was literally no choice.
Reason. But I know men who are good men. They're good fucking men, and they've had very spiteful ex-partners who've used the child as a weapon to manipulate, hurt their feelings mentally. I mean, mentally it would be fucking destroying, and my utmost respect for any man who's still fighting the battle to see their kid even when everything's going against them.
All I can say is just stick it out, because that child will eventually grow up and they will see all the effort that you've made.
They will.
And they will also see the other side to it of what the other parent has done as well.
But what's really tough is people can be very manipulative. So parents can be very manipulative to their children without children realizing and understanding until they become an adult. Yeah. And then that manipulation then comes confusion for that child, where I firsthand have that, and it becomes confusing, and it's a very conflicting emotion that you're trying to go through in your head, where you're like, oh no, but that can't be right, because that was my parent, or that was my guardian. But if you look from an outside in, actually it was fucking terrible, and the most manipulative, coercive sort of situation that nobody should ever be in. So we've definitely kind of stemmed off, but I think IVF, I think if you can, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's immoral. I mean, there's certain reasons why people do IVF, right? Is that right?
There's loads of reasons why people do IVF. So I seen something, what brought this up was, I seen a lady talking about, she's an IVF baby. She was in her 30s, so like she was an IVF baby years ago. Yeah. And her parents basically froze like 4 eggs, and there was her, and she was born first. And then 3 years later, her sister was born from the same batch. And then there's 2 more frozen eggs left, and she's of the age of 30 and she wants a baby, and she was deciding whether she should have one of her parents' eggs transferred into her, because she felt like her siblings, them 2 siblings in them eggs, haven't had a life, and she wanted to give life to one of them. I don't even know if that's like legally allowed.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird.
But that was where this came from. I know.
That seems a little bit incestuous. Why isn't she being fertilized herself?
So she can get pregnant, but she just
hasn't found a partner.
Yeah. Well, no, she's got a partner. She just wants to give.
And the partner supportive of that?
I don't know. She didn't go into great detail.
I would like to know those details, because me as a partner, I would struggle to be supportive of that. Yeah. I don't want your dad's and mum's stuff put inside you.
I don't think it would even legally be allowed.
And then you expect me to then raise them as my child when it's not me. Nah.
I think she just felt that her siblings, they're not a sibling, they're just eggs, but she felt like her siblings are just going to be...
That's demoralising how she feels, Kimmi. They're not siblings, they're just fucking eggs.
They are, though.
Okay.
But that's the issue, right? That's the immoral bit, isn't it?
I don't think IVF's immoral in any respect. Definitely not. Lots of people do it for all sorts of different reasons. That's probably quite an extreme reason that I've never heard of until now. I wouldn't be comfortable with that personally, but it's not me. No. It's not me. And she obviously has her own reasons. But some people have some very extreme ways of thinking, don't they? Yeah. And in their own head, their reasoning makes sense, but to others it doesn't. And obviously to us it does not.
She also said, like, because she's the oldest child, her egg was like the best grade. And then her sister was born like 3 years later. So she was a lower grade. So she was like...
No, that's nonsense, surely.
No, they do. They grade them.
Apologies. Sorry, they do grade them. You said, Well, that's a terrible fucking thing to say to your sister, isn't it? Well, I was actually the better egg because I was the strongest. So that's terrible. That's horrible. I don't think that's a very nice... Like, imagine using that as like a weapon in an argument. Well, I'm obviously a better human being because I was the first one. Yeah. That's terrible. And you were just a pick of the shit after me. Yeah. That's horrendous, isn't it? Oh no. Oh wow.
My DNA is better than yours.
Yeah, literally. But I guess scientifically it is.
Yeah, it must be.
That's terrible. Oh, I don't
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, that is strange. That's horrible.
I think that the whole immoral thing comes from like religious people as well, saying like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not.
Yeah, but I think in a religious setting, they take certain protocols, don't they? So typically I say typically, I can't say everybody. Typically, if you're religious of whatever religion, some sex doesn't become before marriage. Mm-hmm. Some sex doesn't become before you hit a certain age, and so on and so forth. So they follow steps to kind of help that situation to not arise. Whereas if you're not, and you're two 16-year-olds and you're like, oh, let's just have sex, and you get pregnant. If it happens, it happens. Really?
Yeah.
That's a tough decision, isn't it? It's tough. That's where it gets very tricky, because you're obviously going to be relying on parent support. What if you don't have that support from parents? What if you don't have that? It's tough. It's tough, man.
So if anyone listening has been through IVF, I want to know how you felt about the process of picking like a certain egg. Like, did it feel hard? Was it hard, or was it just like just one of them things? Yeah. Like, I want to know.
Yeah. Very curious about that. Yeah. Please get in touch.
I think IVF is great, and it's amazing that we can do that now. The things that we
can do are ludicrous, aren't they?
Would you clone yourself?
No.
Can you imagine that, having a little clone of yourself that you have to bring into the world? And
no, I wouldn't clone myself personally. I think everybody in their own way.
That's a completely random thought. I'm sorry.
No, I think everybody in their own way are unique, and I think that's what's beautiful about people.
I'd like to do it as an experiment.
But then what if experiment goes terribly wrong? What do you just kill it?
Yeah, I don't mean like in this world. I mean like
when you're not around, so you don't have to fucking deal with it.
Yeah, in a lab. In a lab. I just want like a lab that's another world, and we have a baby Kimmi
attached to it. No, I wouldn't do it. No, there's too many complications. Stresses me out too much.
Have a little baby Kimmi and just mould her the way that I want my life to be now.
I've got two sons that are like spitting images of me. I've got 2 baby Ricks already. Yeah, fuck that.
I'd just be curious to see how different we'd be if we'd like been brought up in different situations. That's like I'd be really curious.
That's what we're doing with our kids, isn't it?
But I'd still have the same personality. I'd still look the same.
I think
I probably wouldn't have the same personality, would I? If I was brought up in a different way.
Of course. So like most parents strive to give their children a better upbringing that they had, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what I'm striving to do for my children, and I'm sure you two are both doing the exact same. And I'm sure most parents are adamant that they want their children to have a better upbringing than them. And that is a little clone of you.
It's weird though, isn't it?
It just doesn't.
Do you know, throughout life, everyone's wanted their child to be brought up better than them, but I don't think we've reached a peak of betterness yet, have we?
And what is better? So like you can have financial better, you can have actual attention better, you can have emotionally better. So for me, I grew up without any of the affection and emotion. Zero. None of it. So I give that so much to my children. It's disgusting. Probably nearly too much. Not in an unhealthy way, but like...
Not in a pedo way.
No, not in a pedo way. But like, I love giving my kids cuddles and kisses.
Yeah.
And I love tucking them in bed at night and kissing them goodnight and telling them how beautiful they are or how handsome they are. And I want them to feel good about themselves. I want them to feel confident. And I will tell them that until the day they die.
Yeah.
I never had that. I never got
I can't ever see that being a bad thing.
Like, I never got tucked up in bed. I never got called handsome by my parents. I never had cuddles and kisses. I never had that affection. And I craved it, desperately craved it. And I never had it. So with my kids, I give it. Because to me, I know how important it was because I didn't have it. So hopefully when they get older, they'll be like, oh, Dad is still... Like every day I see my daughter, I call her queen and I call her beautiful and I tell her how lovely she looks. And every day I see my sons, I call them handsome and I tell them how nice they look. And I mean every day, and I have truly every day their whole lives, and I will do it until the day I die.
That's good. They're going to grow up with like real good confidence.
And I don't want them to be overconfident and arrogant and cocky and horrible about it, but I want them to know that I love them.
Yeah.
And affectionately and emotionally, I'm there for them.
Yeah, that's good.
Without putting my views into them as well. Like, I want them to be open-minded and I want them to have their own opinions on life. Like, I'm trying to do that with my sister at the moment, where I obviously have very strong views on certain things. We all know that. I don't want to influence her views on it, but I like talking to her about it to see how she thinks about it.
Yeah.
And I like challenging those thoughts as well to see how and why she's got to the outcome she has without giving my opinion or my views. Because I think that's really important. So
yeah, I agree.
Should we end it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, let's end
That
it.
was fun. After you.
So yeah, guys, don't forget to leave us comments. Check out the Patreon. There's lots of behind the scenes. We had a massive chat before this.
We did.
This episode.
We did.
A lot of shit was talked about.
It was. It was good.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.
Yes, you will. Bye guys.
Bye.